My garbage person of the week is this lady. This is South Dakota governor and potential Trump VP, Kristi Noem. And if you've been following the news this morning, you probably already know why she's my garbage person. There are two reasons, actually. The first and the bigger part is that she apparently murdered her dog. The second and weirder part is why we know about this in the first place, which is because she decided that after going on her dog murdering spree, she would write about it in her book, potentially to make money off of more book sales. So stay tuned, by the way, for the other thing she killed, because it's not limited to just dogs, but here are the details. They apparently had a dog named Cricket with wire-haired pointer about 14 months old. It was a female that she describes as having an aggressive personality. And I guess she would know she does sometimes gun down dogs. But anyway, it needed to be trained. And apparently it was very difficult to train, at least by her. They took Cricket on a pheasant hunt with older dogs, hoping that it would calm the young dog down, as chasing down birds always does for dogs. But anyway, the dog ruined the hunt, going, quote, out of her mind with excitement, chasing all those birds and having the time of her life. These are the words that Kristi Noem used in the lead up to explaining why she killed this dog. It was too excited and too happy. Now, this does take a dark turn prior to the dogs being murdered. The dog apparently killed someone's chicken. And Noem said that it behaved like a trained assassin. In fact, after killing a chicken, she tried to reach for Cricket, and Cricket whipped around to bite her. Now, again, the training of the dog is kind of her responsibility, so that's kind of on her. But it is sad for the chicken's owner. She apparently wrote the family for what the price they wanted for the birds or whatever. But anyway, she goes on to describe Cricket as, quote, the picture of pure joy, and then says, I hated that dog. The dog was apparently untrainable. It was dangerous to anyone she came in contact with and was, quote, less than worthless as a hunting dog. At that moment, Noem says, I realized I had to put her down. So she did what you do. She took it into a vet and it was, painlessly put to sleep. No, that's what a rational person does. She got her gun, led Cricket to a gravel pit, says it was not a pleasant job, but it had to be done. And after it was over, I realized another unpleasant job needed to be done. Now, there is no reason why you have to link these stories, or why after shooting a dog dead, you started thinking, what else could I kill? That goat, I could kill that goat. And apparently she had a male goat, and the goat was nasty and mean because it had not been castrated. Maybe castrated then. Like, if that's what's causing its behavioral problems, I feel like you've already diagnosed it. But anyway, it smelled disgusting, musky, and rancid, and loved to chase Noem's children. Now, in theory, you could wash the goat and put it behind a fence. You could solve all these problems, but that wasn't good enough. So once again, she loaded up her rifle, she took the goat to the gravel pit and gunned it down. And as a quick aside, could we someday just do a little bit of digging in that gravel pit? Maybe those are the only two things that were ever killed there, but I'm sensing a pattern. And you know what they say about people who get off on killing animals? It leads somewhere. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. Why did she write this in her book? Well, she says, I guess if I were a better politician, I wouldn't tell the story here. But she knows what she's doing. She's doing it because she knows it'll be reported, because it kind of has to be reported, because it's insane. And she's so happy, obviously, that we all know that she kills things in cold blood. She tweeted about it earlier today and then uses it as a way to plug her book. Okay, sorry, to promote her book. She doesn't plug her book, she plugs her dog and apparently goats too. Brett, what do you make of all this?
My old Yeller had rabies. So that's why you put a dog down.
Yes.
Like, not because it was so happy and bad at its job. If you want something, if you're gonna shoot everybody and everything that is wildly exuberant and bad at their job, then you should shoot Kristi Noem. I'm not suggesting you do it, but by your logic, by your words, you are volunteering to get shot in the head at a gravel pit. Add stinky, that's Donald Trump and the goat.
Wait, Brett, what if you were to shoot everything that was nasty and mean, disgusting, musky, rancid? Don't do it. We're not advocating
of former President Trump, and nobody's doing anything here.
Unacceptable.
In a clip we watched earlier, someone saying that if Trump doesn't have Secret Service, they want him to die. She's describing Trump to a T here and saying that she shoots animals like that in the head.
Yeah. And look, I know what some people say. At the end of the day, is it worse to shoot a dog to kill it than to give it like an anesthetic and take its life that way? And I hear what you're saying. And my answer is yes, it's worse to gun. No, I think it is worse to gun the dog down.
Not when you're wearing a cowboy hat, John. It's different.
Okay, well, if you're wearing a cowboy hat, then it's not worse. And I know some people will say, well, why don't we treat all animals with the limited amount of compassion we have for animal rights that we apply to some animals like dogs? And I hear what you're saying. I'm trying to maintain even that small bit because that speaker rolled back, okay? This is the little thing we have. Could we at least have that where we don't shoot dogs because we hate how happy they are? And anyway, and at the end of the day, the issue with Noem isn't even just that she killed a dog for it being too happy. It's that she thinks it helps her politically that she killed a dog for being too happy. And worse even than that is that I fear that she is right. I do think that, look, by the way, what did we say her next possible job is? VP to Donald Trump. Donald Trump hates dogs. He talks about stuff being like bad. He uses like a dog as a bad thing. Maybe this was written to get Donald Trump excited about her. I'm not saying anything. Oh, don't put that dog next to me. That's a patriotic dog. Anyway.
Amazing.
Okay, well, who did that?
Who
said that?
That was so
anyway,
good.
Those are our garbage people of the week. But 44,000 of you voted for the community garbage person of the week. And here's your top 5. Coming in at number 5 with 3% of the vote, you have right-wing grifters for pretending that there are furries in Utah infesting the schools. Coming in at number 4 with 7% of the vote, you have Melania Trump for her overpriced Mother's Day necklace. I'd forgotten about that. Coming in at number 3 with 21% of the vote, you have Kristi Noem for coming out against abortion exceptions and then murdering a dog. Your runner-up with 24% of the vote is Kari Lake for pushing a Hillary Clinton assassination conspiracy. She's been saying for years that Hillary Clinton will have her killed. And I have a feeling Hillary Clinton has not thought about her in 2 years. But anyway, your garbage person of the week with 45% of the vote is Newt Gingrich for comparing Trump's hush money trial to the persecution of civil rights activists. And I think that he earned that one. Thank you to everybody who voted. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.